Hey everybody, Patty Ann here. Hey, Beverly asked me if I could show her how to make this thing on the left because she wants to make some, obviously. She says she knows how to do this part, the star, which is basically a knockout, and I'll show you that as well. But she just wants to see how to make this part over here. So it's really easy, Beverly. You're going to love making these. Let me just make this one a lot smaller to get it out of our way. So notice that my font is not exactly the same as this one, although I could stretch it this way to make it look, whoops, need to grab both things. Need to grab both of these to stretch them because I didn't group them. But anyway, notice that it's not exactly the same. The V is a little bit different, has this extra part down here in the E, but this is as close as I could find in the fonts that I have. This one's not exactly right. But let's start on with this. So I would just come over here to the text tool and come over here and just type in all caps LO and then on the next line VE. Okay. Then the next thing I'm going to do is click off and then click back on because I'm going to come over here on the right hand side to the text style panel. And I'm going to change my font to Freshman, as I said. Freshman, I'm pretty sure, is a free download from dafont.com. So I'll just click on that to change it. So what I noticed was that the L here is indented some compared to the V. So what I could do is grab both of these things while they're still editable text and come over here and get the second button over that says Justify Center. And watch what happens. That's going to center these two lines of text to each other. Okay, see now that looks more like what they've done over here. But there's also some more they've done over there. Notice that these letters are touching each other. So one of the things you can again do is click on this, and while it's still editable, I can change the line spacing, the amount of space between these two lines. And I want to make it smaller so I can use the down arrow until they touch, about like that. Another thing is look at the L and the V, they're touching. So again, you could change the character spacing this time and you'll want to make it smaller like that. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. The other thing that I decided to do was I went ahead and grabbed all of it again. And I came over here to the offset panel and just made an internal offset. So it looks really weird right now, but I need to just make the internal offset a lot smaller. Just keep clicking this down button till I get it to about where I want it. Maybe like that. So since that's the internal offset, what I could do is go over here and grab a pattern. Whoops, not here, here. Looks like this person used a glitter pattern paper, which I don't really have, so maybe I'll just choose one of my glitters that I got from Creative Fabrica. Gold. No, I don't like that. I'll make it to match hers a little bit more. Let's see. Okay, now I'm overachieving, right? Okay, so that looks really pretty to me. And of course, as you know, I can go in and change this advanced options of my glitter. If this is something I'm printing and cutting, I could make it look really big like that. And then of course, the other thing I can do, and I should do, is change the outline of this maybe to black, although I think in her sample it was white. And then only other thing I would do is to go ahead and turn off the line color like that. But then if I turn off the line color, of course, you can't even see that offset that's there. So I'll just put something behind here so we can see. I'll right click and say send it to the back, and maybe I'll change it to a black color so we can see how this looks. And then I can just scroll way in and we can check it out. This line right here indicates that I've spelled something wrong, which, you know, I really haven't. I could ungroup this now if I wanted to, though, and do a little something right here. Do you see what I'm doing? Gently moving that away from the E, just a tiny hair bit, as I would say. So I can move these up. Whoops. Move this one this way a little bit, just so there's a little bit more space in between there so you can see the white parts. So let's see, let's scroll back out. So now what I would probably do on this one is move this, I'll leave that there for now. I would probably group these. You know how I like to come up to this paint palette. Up here this says select by color and by fill. So I could select all the black, but I don't need to because it's just my backing. But you know what, maybe what I should do so it's more easy for you to see what I'm doing, instead of using a pattern here, I'm just going to change this to a color. Okay, like that. And now that I did that, I can see that it would probably be a good idea to move the O up just a hair and the E down just a tiny hair. Okay, just so we can see some of that white in between. Okay, so now I can group these by color. So I would just go ahead and get the white, select it here, and they're all selected, so I could hit Control G or right click and say group. And I'm also going to do the same thing to the pink. Grab that selects it all, and I can right click and say group. Now I can get rid of this black piece. So these will be grouped perfectly for an SVG, and even though we can't see it, the white is here also. So if she's ready to go ahead and cut these, of course, if it's HTV, she should mirror them for HTV. The other thing she said she was going to do was to go ahead and cut the star out. So let's bring this guy over here again so we can see what this is. It's called a knockout a lot of times. So we see a little star right here. I can come up here to the panel where the star shape is and just grab it and then make a star shape however I like it. Maybe I want to make it a little more like that. Hers is a little bit wonky. I don't know if I can make wonky. I'm sure I could with the nodes, but I'm not going to mess with that right now. So as long as this guy's not too small, or big, I'm sorry, I'll bring him down here, right on top of there. And that looks about right. So I'm going to hold down my shift key and grab the pink. And then I'm going to come over to the modify panel and say subtract. And that subtracted, whoopsie daisy, I need to group the pink back together. Hang on, Control Z. Since I've done something there, they're not grouped together anymore. So I'd come back up here to this, select by color, and oops, I've got to put it on my media, because notice I have checked here only the shapes on media. If I uncheck that now and click on the pink, it will work, and I can say Control G or group. Then my pink is grouped like that and my white is like this, and it's easy peasy as that to make your own love. So I hope this helps. Hope this is what you wanted. Okay, Beverly may want me to show her one last thing because she told me she was using Silhouette. So just to show you how to go ahead and use this in Silhouette now, I'll bring it over onto my mat and I'll make this a little smaller, and I get rid of this black piece. And assuming, where did my white go? There it is. I'm going to put a little bit of a line on this, the little red color of line maybe. And I can see it then, but as long as this is a 0, it will not print or do anything else. I can just see it now. So what I would do is just take this to my Silhouette. I would go to send, and I can do one of these at a time. I usually do the ones on the left that I'm not working on yet or that need to be finished. So I could put this in the upper left hand corner, but remember, if this is HTV, I should have mirrored this. So I'm going to go back to design and I'll mirror both of these right here. I prefer mirroring them in my software here rather than over there when I'm ready to go. So this is ready. I would go to send. That's ready to go. As I could say, cut the edge. That's all I wanted to cut. It's going to cut just these edges here, not these lines in the middle. I would change this to HTV or heat vinyl. Let's see. heat transfer. This could be heat transfer vinyl. And then the other, oh, I'd love it if it were flocked or something like that. But this could just be heat transfer smooth. And of course, my machine's not going to be detected because it's not on. But after this was cut, then I could bring this over, and maybe I want to make this out of glitter. And I would change this one to heat transfer, maybe glitter or flocked. Do you know how I love that flocked material? I just love that stuff. Anyway, I would just do that and go ahead and cut it, and then layer them with my transfer paper. And that's as easy as it is. So again, I hope you like this tutorial. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, you guys. I'm trying to get my subscription numbers up just for fun. Also, check out my links down below. I have lots of links for stuff that I use, stuff that I really, really like my heat press and that kind of thing. Also, down below there are links to Facebook groups and my Patreon classes. I usually have one class a month, in depth for at least an hour, for $5. That's all. And you'll be able to participate. It's a lot of fun. But anyway, for the next 3 months, I'm going to have it twice a month. So it'll be every other Sunday, the first Sunday and the third Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we'll meet and we'll have an in-depth class for $5, only $5 for both classes. So in other words, $5 get you both. All right. See you guys. Bye-bye.